Good morning. I am afraid uh, that in all the issues that are distracting the president today, a very serious issue is not getting the attention of the world and especially the American people. We often criticize the president for being too many things to too many people and not being focused on the important agendas. And there are many agendas that has the president's attention. But the agenda that I'm speaking of this morning that is really getting out of hand and should be of grave concern is Afghanistan. I touched upon this yesterday in my commentary. Now, the president knew months ago that the elections in Afghanistan was reeking with corruption, reeking with a lot of ill will, and that once the election was to take place, there probably would be protests to the legitimacy of the election. That has happened. The president is using this as a reason to delay his decision on adding more troops in Afghanistan. That is a lack of leadership, or no leadership at all. The president's generals, from McChrystal and others, have recommended some sweeping and very direct changes of what needs to happen in Afghanistan. You got to decide that you want to win this conflict. That's the only thing that matters. You got to win it, and you got to commit the right personnel and troops in order to do so. If our president does not like the advice, the counsel, and the recommendations of his generals, then he should replace them, oust them, and then bring in the kind of leadership that he feels he can respect, listen to, and adhere to immediately. In other words, Mr. President, you must make a decision in Afghanistan. The situation is way out of hand. It's way out of control. It's another Iraq in the making. And for the good of the country, for the good of your administration, and for the good of the world body, many Americans are strongly suggesting that you make a decision. Many people feel that you should follow the leadership of the people you put in place to advise you in those areas where they have the expertise. And all are advising that you need to have an insurgency of troops in Afghanistan. The enemy is lurking. The enemy is growing. The enemy is increasing. There's a battle now between the Taliban and Pakistan. And Pakistan is a very important ally to the United States. We cannot weaken them, and we cannot weaken their resolve. You need to step up to the plate. As many of us have said to you, you need to increase the troops or decide that you're just going to get out of there and leave it to somebody else to worry about. But Mr. President, they need your leadership, not lack thereof. I'm Armstrong Williams.